Hi, my name is Robert Shelley, and I'm an attorney with Shelley Law. I'm the founder of Out of Residency, and I assist residents and fellows in reviewing their first employment contracts. Today I'm going to talk about whether residents get paid during residency. The short answer is yes, residents do get paid. The average salary for a resident in the United States is around $64,000. Now, it's very likely you will not get $64,000 in your first year of residency. Normally 45 to 50, I would say, is a normal amount in your first year out of your internship. And so it can increase over time because you'll be able to do more things as your training moves on. And then certainly if you're in fellowship, it will be more than that, or likely more than that, simply because you'll be able to do more things as well. Now, when you break down what your hourly rate is as a resident, it is going to be frustrating. If you make $64,000 a year and you're working 70 hours a week, you're working for somewhere between $20 to $25 an hour, which is very likely less than the RNs that are working in the hospital or a healthcare network, wherever you're working. Now, there are ways of making more money outside of residency, and let's talk a little bit about that. So you can, if you have followed the proper steps, work locums or moonlighting during residency. Now, this is also specialty dependent, but it's going to depend upon the licensing requirements of the state where you're completing your residency. Most states won't give a full license to a physician until they've at least completed their PGY1 and they've completed the steps of the USMLE. In that scenario, most states will grant a license. Others will require, either the second or even third year of residency to be completed before they'll grant full license. But with that license, if you have done those steps, it will allow you to do, as I said before, locums or moonlighting. So just if you don't know what those are, a locum tenens position is essentially a fill-in where usually a hospital or hospital network will need a certain specialty to meet the requirements of maybe if they're a level 1 trauma center or something like that. They would need someone in your specialty, and so they'll bring them in on a short-term basis. It's not a long-term position. You're usually paid as an independent contractor, and so that is a way of making a decent amount of money quickly. Moonlighting is more of filling in for a private practice. Maybe they need someone, I don't know, if you're in internal medicine and you could work urgent care on a weekend or something like that. I would consider that moonlighting. That certainly is not locum. So those are two things that you could do. Telemed certainly has increased significantly since COVID hit in spring of 2020. And so there are very likely telemed opportunities, once again, specialty dependent, but that might be something that you look into. There are many telemed companies where if you get on their panel, you can log in and there's just a queue of patients that need assistance. And so all you need to do is log in, hit whoever's on the queue, see a few patients, and then log off, and that's it. That might be another opportunity to make a little bit more money. Now, the first kind of statement that you're probably thinking is, well, great, but I don't have a ton of time to do these things. Yes, that's true. You have a huge time commitment as a resident or fellow, and so doing any kind of locums or moonlighting work is going to be difficult. But if you are absolutely in need of the money, you can make 4 or 5 times the hourly rate of what you're making as a resident. And so it can add up quickly, even 1 day a week. But as I said before, if you can find one of those telemed jobs that allow you to log in on your own time, see as many patients as you want, and then log off, that is usually ideal. Because if someone's home at night and just has an hour or two to kill, there might be a way of making some quick money. Now, as far as the classification of employment during residency, so you do make a salary but you are considered an employee, so FICA, taxes, so for Social Security and Medicare, will be taken out of that. There was a Supreme Court case in 2011, which essentially guaranteed that all medical residents will be classified as employees and not students. If you were classified as students, then you likely wouldn't have to pay FICA, but in this case, the Supreme Court has rendered a decision, and therefore all residents are considered employees currently. So yes, medical residents do get paid. The average salary is around $64,000 in residency. Will be a little bit less when you start, could be a little bit more when you're finished. It's also specialty dependent. And then you do have some opportunities to do outside work if you have completed the USMLE and if you've completed the number of years of training that are required by the state that you're looking to get licensed in. There are a few states that have training permits, which would most likely not allow you to do any kind of outside activities until you got fully licensed. But the best way to do is just check with the medical board where you're training and see what the requirements are, and then you can kind of plan accordingly if you want to get to the point where you can do some work outside of the residency program. If you have any questions about employment agreement, independent contractor agreement, and you're a resident or fellow, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description. You can reach us through our website, which is listed below as well. We have a ton of videos on this channel about resident and fellow issues. We may have already answered a question that you have. So anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.